Hello students, welcome back into the another session of CS02 problem solving methodologies using programming in C. Probably this is the last lecture of entire subject that we are dealing since last many months. As all of you know that we are discussing about unit number 5, which consists of two different sections called pointer and file handling. We have already completed with all the topics of pointer theoretically as well as practically. Even we have discussed about various types of file handling function with their practicals. Now some miscellaneous functions are still left to be discussed. These are quite important for university examination. So let's take it fastly and then I will give you the important question list for university examination. And then we'll officially declare this subject to be get completed for this semester. So let's start with the topic. In previous lecture, as all of you know that we have stopped by discussing the function called sprintf. As you can see onto the screen, after sprintf, 4 to 5 functions are still to be discussed with two theoretical topics that we are going to complete in today's session first. So let's start with snprintf function. Now as you can see onto the screen, snprintf function in C format and stores the series of character and a value in array buffer, where the sprintf function with the addition of argument indicates the maximum number of character to be written into the buffer, and it should be defined into the library statement called hash include stdio.h. Now I know that this is very difficult to digest that whatever I have speak, but let's try to make it simple by demonstrating it into the sample program. So now as you can see onto the screen, after the basic or we can say the structural library function of programming in C called hash include stdio.h and hash include console input output.h, where stdio.h stands for standard input output.h. There is a main executable statement, and inside the main executable statement I have declared a one variable called buffer with size 15 contains the data type called character, and then on the very next line there is a one pointer declared as a character in which I have stored a one string. There is a way to identify the string in our subject. Whenever anything is written in between the double inverted comma, it is considered to be the string. Now after that on next line there is a usage of snprintf statement. As you can see that there is a declaration of one variable called j with integer is equals to, that means integer j is equals to snprintf. Into the bracket I have passed the multiple parametric values like buffer, that is the declared variable, then comma 6, it's a size or you can say the location, then comma percentage s, that is the string identifier with slash n, and then after the comma there is a string which I have written into the variable. Now after passing all these necessary parametric values into the snprintf statement, in very next line I have written printf string slash n percentage s character count is equals to buffer comma j. Now what it does, it counts the number of character which is available into the into the part of the particular string which I have declared. Now as you can see that the portion which I have selected into the string contains total number of 14 characters. So onto the screen it displays 14. Suppose we'll execute this particular code. then it should display 1414 onto the screen. So just write down the definition like this. Write a program to demonstrate the use of SN printf statement. Let's move on for another function. Next function is vs printf function. It can be demonstrated like this. It's open now. Let's check for the others also. The theory of vs printf function is like this. The library function the function called vs printf sends the formatted output to a string using argument list passed as a parametric value inside this particular function. This is the way of declaring a vs printf function. It is similar like the function which we have previously discussed, like sn printf statement. As you can see onto the screen, there is a one data type declaration called integer, then there is a function name called vs printf, and then into the bracket basic data type with pointer variable into the comma. Second is the formatted output, and third is the argument. Third argument is as a total number of location in which you want to shift the values. So in this way you can declare and use the function called vs printf function. Next is vsn printf function. But before that, let's see our example which demonstrate the use of vsn printf function. Now as you can see onto the selected part of the program, after the declaration of necessary library function, into the main executable statement I have declared a one variable with a fixed value, and then that fixed value is passed into the variable, and that variable prints the same value onto the screen. Then vfscanf. This vfscanf function will scan the inputted value from the file and stored into the location which is declared by the user. Last two is set buffer and set vbuffer. The library function called setBuffer defines how a stream should be buffered. This function should be called once the file associated with the stream that has been already opened, but before any inputted or output operation has taken place. and set v buffer defines how the stream should be buffered. Now these two functions are used just to handle the internal buffers for storing the values which has been declared by the user during the execution of the program. Now in C, various input output operation has been performed by the programmers like the various function called printf, scanf, getch, getchar, putchar, getas, puts, scanf function, getas function, etc., whatever the function which we have discussed into the previous lectures. The next topic of the discussion, or the last topic of this entire session, is command line argument. It is possible to pass some value from the command line argument to the C program. When they are executed, the values are called command line argument, and many times they are important for you program, especially when you want to control your program from outside instead of hard coding. Those value are declared to inside the variable. Now to use command line argument in general C programming, two most important function we should need to keep in our mind, that is argument C and argument V. This is the way to use this command line argument into the program, where you can see that after the hash include stdio.h and into the main executable statement, argument C is to be declared as an integer and argument V is declared as a character. Then into the bracket, multiple decision making statement I have checked, where the first decision making statement checks that argument C is equals to 2 or not. Second condition check that argument C is greater than 2 or not, and otherwise by default it prints one message. Now for the first condition, if it is true, that means if the argument value is 2, the argument supplied is %s and it prints the same onto the screen. For greater than 2, it displays the message that too many arguments to be supplied, and by default it prints one argument is expected. Now to execute this particular program, we should have to perform the several testing operation. So this is a very short description about the command line argument which is used into the programming in C. I know all these functions which we have recently discussed are not that much important for university examination or practical purpose, but it's a very brief idea about getting knowledge for the same. So as per my review, all the topics which is mentioned into the entire syllabus is completed now. Please note down the important questions for the university examination. Question number 1. Write a short note on history of programming in C. Question number 2. Give the difference between traditional and modern C. Question number 3. Write down the rules of declaring variable. Question number 4. Explain any two operator with suitable syntax and example. Now this question might be asked separately, like write a short note on mathematical operator with suitable syntax and example and so on. So I'm just simplifying this particular question as a one question. Next is, what is typecast? What is typecasting? Explain. Question number 6. Explain flowchart with all symbol. Question number 7. Explain algorithm in detail. Question number 8. What is dry run? Explain. Question number 9. Explain if else statement with suitable syntax and example. Question number 10. Write a short note on switch statement. Question number 11. What is loop? Explain for loop with example. Explain while loop with suitable syntax and example. Next question. Give the difference between entry level loop and exit level loop. Next question. Explain break and continue in detail. Next question. Explain any three string function with suitable example. Next question. Explain any two mathematical function with suitable syntax and example. Next question. Give the difference between call by value and call by reference. Next question. Write a short note on various storage classes. Next question. What is array? Explain. Next question. What is structure? Explain. Next question. What is UDF? Explain. Next question. Give the difference between array and structure. Next question. What is union? Explain. Next question. What is pointer? Explain how to define pointer. Next question. Explain how to use pointer with array. Next question. Explain how to use pointer with structure. Next question. What is file? Explain different types of file mode. Next question, write a short note on write a short note on input output operation. Next question, explain command line argument in short. Next question, explain any three, explain f open and f close function with suitable example. So these are the 30 questions which are important as per my point of view, but students, university can ask any type of question. I have just give you the brief idea about how the question can be asked into the university examination. No doubt all the practicals that we have done during the various session of programming in C are equally important practically. So prepare yourself according to that and wish you all the best in advance for the semester 1 examination. Thank you very much students for listening me and have a nice day. Now onwards, there should not be any lecture of my subject over our official YouTube channel. If you have any questions or doubt, you can come down to the college and you can ask me. So again, wish you all the best for the exam. Thank you so much.